vendor. How many people come in, set up Crockett Christmas on the Square that are not from our town? Are they not itinerant vendors also? Then would not the same?
They are here for a licensed event, a one weekend event a year, sanctioned by the city of Crockett, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. Totally different. We are arguing apples and oranges here.
Well, I'm just trying to understand.
It's not. It has nothing to do with peddler's permit. Christmas in Crockett and the peddler's permit are two different things. Peddler's permits are year-round. Christmas in Crockett is a one-time event each year.
Okay. I just, in reading, and I know this is going to be confusing to y'all, but it was extremely confusing to me as I read over the ordinances. You can read the ordinances to actually come up with, the chamber is not exempt from fees. Their vendors are not exempt from fees. Their vendors are not to be in the downtown area. Their vendors must file a written application for a permit with a code enforcement officer, not with the chamber. Their vendors must have a surety bond approved by the code enforcement officer. Their vendors and vendor helpers must have a background check, which is extremely important to me. You want a background check on all these other people. How do we know about the people that come in that are, Christmas in Crockett? Who checks their backgrounds? What do we know about them? The chamber vendors must provide original identifying sales tax, and you talked about how y'all weren't getting anything from the people over at Robinson's. Have you kept check on what you're getting from the people on the square? Are they turning in the tax money? I doubt it. I very seriously doubt it.
But the people on the square, as Ron pointed out, is a different deal. It is a sponsored event to bring people into the
But do they not have a sales tax number, or are they not supposed to turn in that sales tax to the city? Who monitors that?
The chamber's responsible for that. It's their function. We just agree to provide the space for them. But the other thing Ron brought up too, the itinerant sales folks we're talking about, that permit's good for a year. So it's not just like the company setting up. Part of the deal was to reduce the time frame of when they can come in here and make it a little more difficult for them, so we could be sure that people weren't taking advantage of our businesses and the people in our community. And I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
No, go ahead and finish. I shouldn't interrupt you.
I had another question. In the ordinance, they are actually defining solicitors, peddlers as door-to-door, business-to-business. Now, does this include Avon distributors?
Sorry, say it again.
Does this include Avon distributors? Does it include old couples trying to make a living, going business-to-business to sell their tamales? Even churches selling their meals, although exempt from the fees, they still must inform the code enforcement officer of their intentions. If they don't, they are in violation of the code. And what about the schools soliciting for ads? Have they complied with these ordinances? I mean, who's gonna oversee all of this? Oh, wait a minute. I also noticed that these ordinances don't apply to any of us with vendor booths. They only apply to solicitors and peddlers, because it doesn't say it applies to the vendor booths. It states vendors or it states peddler or solicitors in the ordinances. We can also have them in the downtown area because we're not a solicitor. So I think that a lot of this needs to be looked at. I think y'all need to read over it, reword it, redefine, clarify it, so that when someone comes knocking on my door and says, I'm sorry, that person can't rent here because we're going to tear it down, and I have the right to do it, that I can say, no, you can't. I need to know what I can and can't do as a business owner by these ordinances in Chapter 13. And I mean, it's, and I know I have a lot of notes in there, but if you will patiently read over them, you will see where I'm coming from, what I'm reading, how I got to all of this, and maybe did, I misunderstood something here or there, but if it could be clarified, I would really appreciate it, really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Bill, I'd like to say something.
Thank
As you know, we're in a little resale business, and I'm here to make sure that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing correctly. And we do have people that come and sell us items. We buy right off the back of the building, whatever. Now, I'm making sure I got this right. That would not be a solicitor, would it?
You know about an individual driver
Right.
selling something?
We're selling stuff.
No.
And I think where a lot of this came, some of us really got our feelings kind of hurt last year because when we did have Christmas on the square, they came to, I rented the Maxwell building, and they came there and told us, not y'all, you cannot set anything in front of your store. You go take this down. Am I telling you right?
They weren't talking about our merchandise.
They're not talking about our merchandise, they're talking about them.
We had some vendors there.
So I guess that could come under the chamber, going to them and saying, look. So I had 3 people there, actually, in the lot that I pay rent on. And we had to tell them that they couldn't stay.
They actually told me last year that I had no right to rent booths on my property unless I gave them the money.
Kind of the objective.
But my question is this, I want to know going forward what, I don't want to get off into a storm with any of it, because if in fact what we're doing, what I'm doing is wrong, I need to know about it, because we do buy. We buy daily. We buy, I mean, there's people come in there, sometimes I wish we didn't, some of them didn't come in there, but I mean, we're pretty, we know who we're pretty much buying from. But those people that come in there on a day-to-day, would they be considered peddlers, or would they just be wanting to sell something? And to be honest with you, most of them there to sell something, put $5 worth of gas in their car, you know what I mean? They're there just to,
So the whole
livelihood.
the whole intent behind this thing is to protect the community, the business community downstairs, and the people out in, because we've had scams go through this town. People come through and we need money for this, we need money for that. And the intent of trying to put the ordinance together is to
And
protect
of course,
people.
another one of my concerns was because y'all have, you know, when you turn that corner down there, it looks like slave markets and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm proud to say that, because whenever I first started this, I thought, well, I'm gonna do this, you know. When I ran that corner, that was the dullest, nasty looking place down there, and I said, okay, we can do this. We can put businesses down there, we can generate sales tax, we can generate this, and I'm telling you, it's been a blessing. I mean, there's people that have come to that shop, that I don't know what would have happened had some of us not been there. But I don't want to get out there and display all of my goods and to find out that I'm not in compliance. And I just want to make y'all guys, you people, tell me that what I'm doing is right, and that I'll have no repercussions from what I'm doing. That's just basically what I'm saying. I don't want my name on the front page of the paper. Diane Wrong, ex-county treasurer, was picked up from. I want to do what's right. But I'm telling you, we have a lot of
Well, I mean, that's kind of normal day-to-day business for folks, and there's no problem with that kind of thing. Because the economy is bad, people need help everywhere.
Well, they need help.
But This
So if a lot of time they
is intended to keep the people who just come in here, spend a few days here, suck money out of our community, and then disappear. We're trying to protect and take care of the people who support and make this community what it is, and build on that. Yes, ma'am.
Then may I ask one more question?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did the designation for that no solicitors, vendors, vendors, whatever in the downtown area? Why not none of them all over the city? I mean, I don't understand why they sectioned the downtown area off. And how did they come up with this map that they came up with? In the ordinance, y'all had a map. Because we drove that map today, and a lot of it is residential area. And we don't understand that.
Look at the map. Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes I think you get some people, makes it hard on all of us. They make people, you know what I'm saying? I know it's been a real contention about the guy down there at Robinson's, you know. And I understand that. But I just want to be sure that, because I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing unless I'm in violation. I'm going to invite everybody to come to something for joy.
Well, the intent and purpose of it is not to penalize or make life learner for any of our local